You're wondering, where the hell is all the ammo? Well, we wanted to find out. So we went to one of the biggest ammo plants in the world, Remington Ammunition. This facility is massive, 1,200 acres. They have their own shooting range on site, their own trap and skeet fields on site, and of course, a lot of ammo being made right there. Like most people, I grew up with Remington. It's one of those brands, if you're a shooter, if you're a hunter, you probably have owned Remington guns and you certainly have used Remington ammunition. So when I got invited to go up to Loanoke, Arkansas, where the big Remington ammunition plant was, I was really excited. One of the buildings we went into is 100% dedicated to high volume stuff. They're loading millions and millions of rounds of 9mm. They bring in raw materials on one end of the building, and out comes 9mm fully loaded on the other side of the building. It's really impressive. Another interesting part of this Remington plant tour is they have a mixture of very modern machinery and then some classic machinery that still works great and they still use today. There's a lot of history in this building. They moved into the Loanoke, Arkansas building in the late 60s. And the most iconic piece of this plant that I really wanted to see, because I've been hearing about it for decades, is the shot tower. This is the way they've been making shot since the 60s. And this shot tower is 12 stories tall. You take a big freight elevator to get to the top of it. They dump molten lead and they filter it through these plates, depending on what size shot you want. And as it falls and forms droplets, it drops into these water tanks and hardens. It's an old school way of making shot that still is a really great way of making perfectly round shot today. You don't see shot shells being loaded everywhere you go. I mean, metallic, very common, and you see that with the case and the bullet and loading it that way. But shot shells are a different animal altogether. They actually extrude and make their own hulls out of just raw plastic. And that's another one where they were loading 16 gauge, 28 gauge. We even saw some specialized industrial loads that were in 8 gauge. I had no idea how much stuff they load there. We saw 7mm, we saw 45-70, we saw 35 Whelen, we saw all sorts of things being loaded, which is nice to see because shooters and hunters still want to be able to shoot and use those calibers. We did see something new on this tour, and it's pretty exciting for a lot of hunters because Core-Lokt is a trusted product for millions of hunters out there. It's killed millions of white-tailed deer and other types of big game. Well, now they've brought out a new version, tipped Core-Lokt. It's a Core-Lokt bullet, but it has a polymer tip, which gives it a little bit better accuracy, a little bit better BC, and it's just gonna help the performance a little bit. And I think shooters and hunters are gonna be excited about this one. It was great to see this operation. Huge ammunition plant. But their secret sauce is the people. They have the same people who've been loading and developing this ammunition for decades. It's their passion, it's their purpose. They are hunters, they are shooters, and they take it very seriously. Let me tell you, Remington Ammunition is back up and running at full strength, and they're cranking out more ammunition for you.